Hey there, I'm Patrick Franco. We're gonna look at this pose called Uttanasana, which we often refer to as a standing forward fold. One of the things it does is it stretches and strengthens some key parts of the body. Specifically, it stretches the entirety of the legs, from the calves to the hamstrings, as well as the legs. It also stretches the spine because it is a standing forward fold. So the muscles of the back, the muscles of the spine all get lengthened. In addition, it does strengthen some key parts of the body as well. It strengthens the quads and the hip flexors because they need to be engaged so that the legs can be stabilized in order to fold forward. And it does help strengthen a little bit of the spinal muscles as we fold over our legs as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at it now, Uttanasana. And you'll often see this pose in a few instances during the standing pose section of a class, but if you're working with sun salutations, it will also be integrated during the sun salutations as well. I'm going to do it from the side so you can get the full view of the pose. Classically, Uttanasana, the feet are together. The big toes and the heels are touching. I can start with my hands and my hips, and then I'm going to move forward. Once I come forward, we already discussed the relevance of Ardha Uttanasana, or halfway lift. Halfway lift is used as preparation for Uttanasana. And the reason it's used as preparation is because it gives more space in the spine before we extend and fold forward. So I'm going to press my heels, fan my toes. With my fingertips down, I'm going to pull my chest forward. Ardha Uttanasana. Now the idea is to maintain this space and length in the front of the spine even as I let my head move towards the floor. My legs stay lifted, my kneecaps, quadriceps are engaged, and then I'm going to plant my hands and, if possible, move them back towards my feet. Now this is dependent on how flexible you are, but when this happens, the elbows can bend, and that allows the sides of the trunk to pull down, the sides of the neck to lengthen, and then the head to go. My buttocks bones are lifting and spreading, and my abdomen is releasing and relaxing up towards the ceiling as my whole back opens and spreads. To come out, we can move through Ardha Uttanasana again, hands to the hips, and up we come. All right, so that's Uttanasana. Now, some common mistakes we see with this pose is instead of focusing on the lengthening and opening of the backs of the legs, oftentimes students not consciously avoid that deep stretch, but they shift their weight, moving the pelvis not over the ankles and heels, but further back. And the body just does this naturally to help you think that you're going deeper into the pose. The problem is when that happens, you're not actually lengthening and stretching your hamstring muscles. You actually wind up overstretching your low back or the attachment of the hamstrings at the sits bones. And that could be problematic over the long haul. So let's look at what that might look like. So here we are, Ardha Uttanasana. And I said earlier that before we fold, the backs of the legs need to be lifting. The buttocks bones need to be lifted. But what happens sometimes is as students fold forward, they shift. And now the stretch isn't in my hamstrings. I actually feel it in my low back. And we want to avoid this. And so one way to avoid this is to ensure that the buttocks are over the heels. But that might still be too much for a lot of students. So one thing that we can do is provide space. We can use the blocks, we can bend our knees, we can also widen our feet. All great options to make sure that the legs and the pelvis are in a good position for us to fold forward. So let's do it. I'll widen my feet. I'll bring my hands to the blocks. I'll move through Ardha Uttanasana first, lifting the backs of my legs, pulling my chest forward. And then I can do the forward fold Uttanasana from here. I bend my elbows, my buttocks bones keep lifting. I don't shift my weight back, so the focal point is on the backs of my legs. And if I need to, I can always lower the blocks, which is nice. And then I'll let my head go. You also have the option to bend your knees. And then to come up, hands to the hips, and we come up. Uttanasana, excellent pose. It's a standing forward fold. It's a deep stretch for the hamstrings and the spine. One thing that we need to keep an eye out for, though, is the shifting of the pelvis back as we fold forward, because it takes the focus out of the legs and into the low back, which we definitely want to avoid. All right, we'll see you on the mat next time.